hora de conocer los últimos datos de los bancos centrales, de analizarlos. Marta y Ser, ¿qué tal?
Muy buenas tardes, Manu. Así es, vamos a analizar los últimos mensajes que estamos conociendo por parte de los bancos centrales y sobre todo con la principal cuestión que está ahora mismo sobre la mesa en los mercados, y es si vamos a tener o no una recesión. En Estados Unidos está descontado para este verano. La cuestión también se cierne sobre Europa. Saludamos a Phil Gronniger, es gestor de carteras de clientes en Janus Henderson. Phil, thank you so much for having us a few minutes. Phil, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Buenas tardes.
Phil, hello. We will start a question about central banks. Sir George from Kansas City Fed says the Federal Reserve will succeed in bringing down inflation, but our question now is how much tightening will be needed to make that happen?
Yes, we do think that the central bank will be effective in bringing down inflation with tightening, though as we expect, and I think markets are expecting and adjusting too, they will have to be very aggressive on the front end to fight inflation. We're expecting a couple more 50 basis point rate hikes, and the market, if we look at where the market's expecting, they're saying that the Fed funds should be around 2.7 by year end, and we would align with near that level as well.
Phil, Powell has said that the Federal Reserve will raise rates until the inflation is controlled, but investors don't think he will succeed in avoiding inflation. What do you think?
We do think inflation will remain elevated for longer, though we do expect it to come down from the lofty levels that we're currently experiencing. We think we're near peak inflation when we look at CPI, or average hourly earnings, though we understand that the market concerns with the heightened inflation are leading to the volatility in the current marketplace. Again, though, we do think the Fed will be effective in bringing the inflation down in the longer run, though likely to remain higher than perhaps some might be comfortable with in the near term.
Mm-hmm. And do you think we will have a recession in US next month?
We don't think in the near term we're headed directly for a recession. We do think that there's about a 50% probability that we could experience a recession in the US in 2023. And what we think we're currently seeing in the marketplace, while the first quarter's volatility we thought was more of an adjustment to the shift or the pivot from the Fed to a much more hawkish tone, we think much of the current market volatility we're seeing now is not an adjustment to the hawkish tone based on inflation, but more of a concern about longer-term growth prospects now. The market, we think, has taken into effect an aggressive Fed and now starting to adjust to the potential of economic slowdown longer term because of the need to raise rates so much early on.
And Phil, how all these challenges in the current market scenario may affect the asset allocation decisions? How can we prepare our portfolio for this scenario?
Sure. At Janus Henderson, one of our strategies is a balanced strategy, and what we've done early part of this year has been to reduce some of our equity weighting in that portfolio, where we were near our max allowable equity allocation all of last year. We came into this year and started reducing some of that allocation, and within the fixed income side, in anticipation of the rising rates, we were shorter in duration, that is, having less interest rate sensitivity. Additionally, we've reduced the credit risk within the fixed income side as well, because we thought that valuations were a bit too rich in the corporate space.
Well, we will have this analysis on the table. Thank you so much, Phil. Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you for your time.
Manu, nos quedamos por tanto con esos mensajes en un momento.